Welcome once again to another episode of Your Secret Garden. That's right, I'm your boy, Brian Redmond, and I got a letter I got a question from Adam, I should say. And the question is, do you have an advice video on rebuilding broken trust in a 10 plus year relationship? Is it such a thing? Can it be done? Man, that's a great question. So, 10-year relationship with broken trust. Can it be rebuilt? And is it such a thing? So I'm going to say it can be. However, it has to be something where both sides are willing to work on, or should I say rebuild, or better yet, rehab the trust that's in the relationship. So what I mean by that, Adam, is that trust is something that is earned. You have to earn trust, okay? And with earning that trust, whenever that trust is broken, you have to earn it again. And with that being said, the people that are involved in that, you have to be willing to put your emotions, put your feelings, your heart, all that kind of stuff back on the line and put it in that other person's hands to begin to trust them again. However, that comes with time. So, depending on how that trust was broken, that's the first place you start. So, however the trust was broken, whether if it was done by lying, whether it was done by infidelity, whether it was done, whatever it was done by, you have to go back to that particular part of that relationship, and you have to come up with some different fail-safes and some different rules and regulations that you guys both agree upon in order to prevent that from happening again. So it's like, let's say for instance, if one of the parties was cheating in the relationship, and let's say they was cheating with, somebody that was, I don't know, maybe at work or somewhere else. And now that you're trying to rebuild that trust, the other person who didn't do the cheating wants you to check in more often. You know what I'm saying? Or say, hey, whenever I call, you need to answer your phone immediately. Or if I FaceTime you, you need to make sure that you answer it. And I need to see your face and see where you at. If that is the case, because that person is in a position to where they've been hurt because they don't have that trust in you anymore, because that trust was broken. Not that it may sound a little far-fetched, but that person you just can't turn off and say, you know what, I trust you again, go ahead and do what you do. That's not realistic. And if you have to be the person, because you broke the trust, you have to be the one that is going above and beyond to earn that trust again. And yes, it's going to be that person jumping through a few hoops. Yes, it's going to be that person doing some things that they normally wouldn't do, or some things that they may seem that are out of the ordinary or unnecessary. You need to do whatever it takes if you want to rebuild that trust to appease that person, to make that person feel safe. I've always said that it is the other person's responsibility to make the other person feel that they can trust them. So whatever the case may be, if it's not a thing of saying, well, that person's insecure or that person is, nope, that's not it. It's about building trust again. And once that trust is broken, then you have to start that process all over again, and it's different and it's gonna change. So whatever, and you just come right out and ask that person to say, what is it that I need to do better, or what is it that I need to do more often to assure that you can trust me and can begin to trust me again, because it's not just going to turn back on like that. So it's like, find out what that is and revisit that situation. Even though it's going to be a little painful, you might, because you got to rehash some of those feelings, and find out what you can do better now to reassure that person, because that's going to be a big part of rebuilding that trust. It's that reassurance. You have to make that person know that they are, the most important, that they are worth trying to rebuild the trust, and that you are willing to do what it takes to rebuild that trust. If you, for some reason, feel like you don't need to do that, or you don't want to do that, that's a whole different ball game, because now you're talking about saying that, hey, this is something that I'm not willing to do to reassure you or to rebuild the trust with you. So now we need to look at doing something different as far as our relationship status and the way that we relate to each other. That's going to have to change. Absolutely. So when it comes to that trust being broken, there is a rebuilding process, or a rehabbing process that you must go through, and usually the person who had that trust broken is the person that's really going to dictate a lot of that. However, you still have to agree to whatever it is that that person is doing, and that's where the negotiation begins. And then at the end of the day, you have to give that person time for that wound to heal. 10 years is a long time now. If that wound ain't healed in 10 years, then you need to really, try to revisit this and see exactly what happened after the initial thing that broke the trust, or things that broke the trust, and then say, can we even build and rebuild what has been broken or torn down? So it's like, figure that part out first, and then find out what those prerequisites are to reinforce that rehab project that you're going to have to do with trust, and then you should be okay. So if you got any more questions, definitely hit me up. You know I'm here for you. I got your back. And always remember, your secrets are safe with me in the secret garden. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it.